from Boston. It is the 2nd of June, 2026, because time is just literally flying by. Anybody else noticing that? Time is just flying by. Every time I turn around, another week has gone by, or we're into another month. We're halfway through the month right now, and this month is no joke whatsoever at all. Real quick, let's get into the chat. It's not working. That's not working. Right, that's awesome. For whatever reason, this isn't working. All right. Lisa D, Gary, Nagy, Shay, J, Mary Sharp, Liz D, Flowers in the Attic, Rick Swain, Wade Possum, Cass. Oh, it works, man. Can't see comments. That's queer. Strange, unusual. Consuelo, True Seeker 79. What's up? God is great indeed, all the time. Pest 53, Dark Knight Cowboy, Muskrat, Daniel Pratt. Video is skipping. Audio not consistent. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you, man. This might be a bad day. Might be a bad day. I'm doing what I can here. You know what I mean? What's up? It is what it isn't what it is. There you go. That's a good one. Every knee shall bow. It's skipping, huh? Stand by 1 sec. Let me make sure I got everything unnecessary closed, which I did. I should have refreshed this before I pulled this video up. Yeah, come on, man. Screen is and buffering. All right. Are we better, great, good. Yeah, let's not worry about the dogs right this second, all right? This isn't, I mean, let's act like we are looking down the barrel of it right now. I'll get to the dogs when I get to them, all right? Let's not distract me here. This is hard enough to do as it is. But speaking of the dogs, this is for the World Cup in Dallas. And I'm pretty sure if you follow me on X, you know this is already here. Facial scanning robots. Isn't that terrific? Isn't that terrific? So not only do you pay whatever it costs to go to this ridiculous event, they're going to facially scan you like they do every place else. This is insane. But this was on the cover of The Economist magazine, and there you go. Oh, look, you can dance a little bit. And these are the Boston Dynamics robot dogs. These things have been around as long as I've been on YouTube. These things are no joke. No joke. These are highly defined, really, really high quality robots. So there, as they say, is that. Excuse me. My bad. All right. If it's buffering, if it is what it is. I'm doing what I can here. There's nothing I can do on this end, period. All right. That's nothing I can do. We're running off of a Starlink. That's all there is to it. So it is what it is. Let me try to get through this. What the actual? All right. This is pissing me off already. Here, you want to see how the dogs are doing? This is them. It's been 1 week since I took custody of them, we'll call it today. This is day 6. Day 6. I'm hoping they forgot that they were abandoned at this point. They're not covered with hundreds of mosquitoes anymore. They're getting fed twice a day. Plenty of water. And they still don't have names. Get out of there. Get out. Get out of there. Get out of the flowers. Hey! Get out of there. This thing is phenomenal. It's nothing. It just makes a noise. But they respect the noise, huh? Doesn't hurt them. He's like, yeah, I don't like that noise. thing. She's like, me neither. I'll kill you. He's like, I might too. Beautiful, isn't he? I think he might be a Staffordshire. It's hard to tell. But that's a pit bull. Somebody cut her tail off like an asshole. Okay, you happy? There's the update on the dog, and my screen's gone. There's the update. So they're good. They're good. They're good. Yeah. You know what? I appreciate all the comments with your name suggestions, but I'm not going to use them. But what bums me out is the fact that I'm explaining to you that this month and next month, they're going to destroy our country. And people are like, the dog's name should be Snoop and Dr. Dre and whatever. Yeah, I'll figure it out. I haven't figured out what I'm doing. All I did was rescue them, and now I'm trying to get them back into shape because when I got them, they were in rough condition, especially the white one. But you remember Leave the World Behind? Do you know the whole premise behind that show, Leave the World Behind by Barack and Michael Obama? Was a rich guy was an accountant or a data management guy for incredibly rich people. And he said, all my clients are leaving the United States. Well, guess what? That's happening now. That's happening now. Look at all the people we're seeing on television. Donald Trump doesn't look the same. Joe Biden didn't look the same. These people obviously have doubles. They have deep underground military bases. And Peter Thiel completely failed. He has gone to Argentina. I had to record this. He's telling everybody that he owns Trump. And he is gone. As a potential plan B, but he also enrolled his children in school in Argentina. That's not something you do when you're coming back. Do you see what I mean? And he also bought another piece of property next door in, I keep wanting to say, it's not Uruguay, is it? He bought a lot of property out there, and he's basically saying that everything is going to get really, really bad. Yeah, it is Uruguay. So Thiel has a home in Argentina's capital, Buenos Aires, and according to insiders who spoke with the Times on the condition of anonymity, he also quietly purchased a plot of land in Uruguay, which sits on Argentina's border to the east, a property that observers had speculated could include a bunker to shelter from nuclear apocalypse. It's not going to be a nuclear apocalypse. It's going to be actually probably worse than that, because at least a nuclear apocalypse will put you down if it were real, but I don't believe it is. But they do have weapons and they do have technology that's going to make a nuclear apocalypse seem like a really good idea. But these guys he's out of here. He's out of here. His plan on this going live, I mean, I had to get this from the Hindu news. You have to go to other countries to get the real news. Peter Thiel is cooking up a plan B for fleeing the United States and hunkering down in Argentina, which I hope is an indicator of how bad he thinks it's going to get for the new right and how dramatically J.D. Vance has failed. Yeah, it's got nothing to see. These people still think everything's got something to do with politics. Trump isn't making bad political moves. Trump isn't making bad military moves. You see what I mean? He's doing what they need to do to get the Great Reset, Agenda 2030, the New World Order. All three of those are the same thing. All three of them. It's the Trinity right there. Great Reset, Agenda 2030, New World Order. Three different names, all the exact same thing. And the best part about all this is people have seen so many signs coming down the pike over the years that this year is going to be it. This year, this is it. This is absolutely it. We've never been at America's 250th anniversary ever before. We've never had a government that is just openly and blatantly criminal. We have never seen, at least Biden, at least people before him, played the part. They pretend. Trump doesn't pretend. There's no pretending whatsoever at all. Congress just merged our military with the Israeli military. That's treason. It's treason. Other countries don't do that. If Iran has friends in Hezbollah or the Houthis, they call them terrorist groups. What's more terrorist than the United States and Israel combining? You know what I mean? And there's a rumor going around that Trump called Benjamin Netanyahu and said, "What the F is wrong with you, you crazy F? You would have been in jail if it wasn't for me." I don't know what to make of that. I don't know what to make of that. But this is just getting absolutely, utterly crazy. The billionaires are making sure billionaires can leave the country and nobody would know. You know what I'm saying? These guys can do all these things without us ever knowing because they own the technology. You see what I'm saying? But this is out there. That's for a reason. They have to tell you. People need to understand. You better start living every single day like it's your last, because any day now you're going to be right. They are going to drop it on us, and people are too concerned. I'm not trying to be an asshole here, but I mean, I am an asshole with a laptop. People are too concerned. You know, I go to the comments specifically to see if anybody's got something good, and it's like the dogs. Yeah. I went and got 2 dogs from a bad circumstance. If there were 2 kids there, I would have got them too. You know what I'm saying? But let's focus on this. I'm not doing this for fame, glory, or money. I'm doing this because I can't stop doing it, because I have this inner drive that is ruining my life for the most part. No friends, no family, no nothing. Everyone thinks I'm a crazy conspiracy theorist, but it's all coming to pass. Do you remember this video I put up a long time ago? This is a good one because I get to kind of smack talk somebody back from 2025 without saying this. I made this video in 2025. Remember this? Remember what I told you back then? Hey, what's up, YouTube? It's Richie from Boston. It's the 17th of February, 2025. And I went to 5 different places to see if they would just simply install my rear calipers. Take off the tires.
It's absolutely mine.
I forgot that I had truck issues then, too. It happens a lot. 200,000 miles in 3 years on a truck as big and heavy as that. Yeah, you have issues. So I forgot that I had truck issues in this video, but whatever. Real quick, let's take a look at this YouTuber everybody knows.
This is Dabu7. We have what might be the biggest fraud in history unraveling in front of us. Now that Doge is diving into all these different departments, and there's a lot of different questions attached to that and what they're doing and what's really going on. But now that they've dove into Social Security, they are uncovering, again, what Elon says could be the biggest fraud in history. They're saying that there are over 20 million Americans collecting Social Security benefits that are over the age of 100. And when you go even further into this, there are benefits still being paid out to people that are over 140 years old. It's absolutely mind-boggling what all is going on here. So he puts this information out there saying that this is the case. Of course, people from the other side saying that they want proof to all this. They have launched a website that shows all the stuff that they're uncovering, where you can click and you can go into detail on everything that's there. One of my biggest questions is, when are the people responsible for all this crime going to go to jail? It seems like a big magic trick. They're coming out and they're telling you about the biggest fraud in history, whether it's this or it's the next story or whatever it is. They're uncovering it left and right. And I guess no one's going to get in trouble. There's no talk of it. You going to let Biden walk away, pardoning himself for all the crimes of the Biden crime family? I mean, this goes back decades, not just on one president. All these crimes go back decades. People should be held responsible. Will they, though? To me, it seems like a big illusion here. I'm still waiting for Hillary to go to prison, but Trump don't want to do that. So your Gentile Messiah and Mr. Baphomet here, Elon, ripping through all this stuff and tearing down a bunch of departments. On the outside, things look good. It's a whole lot of winning. But with the other hand, they're sliding in the blockchain and everything else. And some just don't get it.
Including him. He just don't get it whatsoever at all. Oh, they're exposing. Well, you know what? Let me just shut up. Listen to what I said back in 2025. Yeah, some don't get it at all. Isn't it weird? I said exactly what I said just now, and I also said it exactly the same. That's a weird thing. Whatever. I digress. My bad. Doge isn't doing anything. The fact that Dabu is still up with 500,000+ subscribers, able to monetize, able to do live streams. Live streams are what you do when you're a YouTube creator and you want people to keep sending you money during the live stream. It's an old trick. It is what it is, but whatever. But the funny thing is Dabu doesn't mention anything of any relevance whatsoever at all. Doge isn't to do anything for Americans. Doge is the excuse, stopping corporate and governmental waste and this and the other thing. But nobody's going to get in trouble. Nothing's going to change. What this is doing is allowing Elon's AI, Grok, to absolutely get every single bit of classified government information that it couldn't ordinarily have got. That's all it's doing. That's all it's doing. And Dabu doesn't mention that whatsoever at all. Okay, so you see, back then I pinned it all on Elon, and he's the biggest ringleader as far as we can see. But now Palantir, everybody else has become so very prominent. It turns out that's exactly, Doge wasn't doing anything except going in there and getting information that only the United States government was supposed to have on its citizens. Now, all of your information, every single crumb of it is out there. And it turns out that he's going to, Peter Thiel's got plans for that as well, because he's now going to hook up with the IRS, which is phenomenal, and Social Security. Exactly like I thought they were going to do. You know what I'm saying? This is insane. This is utterly insane. They're going to use Palantir's Gotham platform to connect Social Security, the IRS, and DHS data into one system. Isn't that awesome? So a private company subsidized by you, subsidized by the government, secretly being run by the CIA and Mossad with Peter Thiel as the front man or whatever, they're now going to have all your Social Security numbers, tax records, immigration status, employment history, financial behavior, and social connections all in one fun place called Gotham. I mean, come on, man. Come on, man. On that one, yeah, I hit the nail right on the head. But I never thought they would come out and completely say it. This is insanity. This is insanity. Yet we've got people sneaking into the sewer lines unmolested for 2 hours. Some people say 3 hours. They're underground doing God knows what. They come out. They're on security cameras. You can see them getting into their cars. Where's the flock camera? Where's Palantir? Where's the NYPD's cameras everywhere? What about the camera that's on them? How come they weren't identified? Because they probably have predominantly large hook noses and small hats and live in a country surrounded by enemies by design. And we pay for everything for them. Isn't it fun that in Israel, healthcare and college is completely free? Isn't that weird? Isn't that weird? All your money. I mean, isn't that weird? You know what I'm saying? I don't have healthcare in any way whatsoever at all. At all. I have to get these two dogs to come back to me by whistling. Yeah, that ain't easy to do. I'm running. I mean, one more bad day, I can't whistle anymore. So they're just going to run away on me. So it is what it is. But this is utterly insane. They're coming straight out and saying it. And Operation, the name of the platform is Gotham. They used Maven to send 2 Tomahawk missiles into that Iraqi schoolhouse full of children to start the war off. And speaking of that war, Trump has started shit again. And it doesn't hurt Iran in any way whatsoever at all. Most people don't even know what happened, but you know what it's going to do? By the end of the week, oil's going to probably go up by probably 50 to 100%. So we're screwed. We're completely screwed because he just keeps on doing this because they're not there to win the war. They're bringing in the new world order right now. Billionaires are publicly leaving the country saying, I ain't staying in the United States. But Peter Thiel, you own the company, you and your crystal meth pal that wants to put fentanyl-laced drones and sprinkle it all over people, which they could do to all of us. You run a company that takes care of the whole country, but you're leaving. Well, in a real world, people would say, wow, Peter Thiel must have absolutely zero confidence in his product if he's fleeing the country for fear of something bad happening when his entire all-seeing eye network of cameras absolutely everywhere won't protect him. So he's going to go to Argentina. Really? This is real. This is no joke. Every day it just gets worse and worse and worse. We have never, ever, ever seen somebody walk into office and do what Trump did. The first day, he's going to find out how much gold is in Fort Knox. There's no gold in Fort Knox. And there's no gold underneath the Twin Towers because they got the dump truck, the 10-wheel dump trucks. One of them got stuck. The guy working for FEMA taking pictures after the fact found the vault full of every other country's gold. We're talking serious amounts of gold. He found the vault wide open. And when he published the pictures, all of a sudden he became a wanted man. He went from a government employee doing his job, accidentally showing the truth, hunted down. Look that up if you want to. That's a long rabbit hole. I ain't got time for that. But this is insane, utterly insane. And according to the news, Peter Thiel now owns Trump. Peter Thiel is reportedly shaping Trump's immigration and surveillance policies with over $113 million in federal contracts. Nice. Concerns are mounting in Washington and beyond as new social media's claims suggest billionaire Peter Thiel may wield huge influence over former President Donald Trump. That's a weird thing. That's odd. June 2nd, 2026. Especially after announcing Palantir's immigration operating system over former President Donald Trump. The one man who holds sway over the White House, Peter Thiel. Yeah, we're in some crazy times right now. Crazy times. I mean, this is insanity. But let me show you something that's kind of lame. Well, here you go, right here. This is very lame. Trump hits him again. He hit, I don't know what this is. He hit the other side of the Straits of Hormuz, which is going to simply cause any ships with oil on them to not even be able to make it through now, so forth and so on. Trump's just making sure that he's going to make America great, no matter how much you have to pay. So I'm telling you, and a lot of you have listened because I met a lot of you. I'm in a subscriber's house right now. A lot of you have listened. People that can have left the country. New world order. But America is going to take it particularly hard. Think about Black Sundays. Think about all these federal programs, all these SNAP benefits, all these other things when they drop out, when you can't get gas anymore. I mean, that's a reality that could happen before the 4th of July. You know what I'm saying? Like these rumors are going around for a reason, man. It's crazy. But this is funny because this right here is what the mainstream YouTubers are talking about with a bunch of Jewish fellows that can't be videotaped somehow, even though they're on camera. They're showing them to us on surveillance camera. You can see their faces, you can see their cars, but they just can't figure out who they are at all. This is Donut Operator, an ex-cop who hangs around with all the cops. This is what they came up with. Apparently, these guys were down there at 12 o'clock at night because, well, listen to this.
Wearing fishing waders, you know, the kind of things that you go out into a pond or a creek with and you don't get your legs wet so you can stand there and fish. A couple of them use their cars to light up the area and possibly people in the cars to be lookouts for them. And then 7 of the dudes climb into the manhole. And mind you, this is 11 o'clock at night. They're down there for 3 hours. At around 2 in the morning, all 7 of them climb back out of the same manhole. They go to the side of the road behind some cars to avoid traffic seeing them and start changing into some clothes. They wipe themselves clean, they replace the manhole cover, and then they walk away like nothing ever happened. What the Of course, the people who own the camera see the surveillance footage and they call NYPD and they're like, what the is going on? But the dudes are already gone. They don't know who they are at this point. Well, get this. The same night in a different part of Brooklyn, specifically Williamsburg, about 3 miles north of that location, a group of 8 people do the same thing. They go down the manhole at about 1 in the morning and come back up at around 3:40 a.m., hop in a vehicle and take off. NYPD.
Now, Donut is comical. His videos are always making fun of stupid people and you know, getting shot and doing stupid things, cop-related things. The weird thing about this whole thing is they're showing them going into the tunnel on surveillance camera, and they're showing them coming out on surveillance camera. That's enough. That's all you need to actually fix the situation. And Donut likes to be monetized. His first 20 seconds of every video is right into his sponsors. His videos are usually only just as long enough as they need to be monetized. So he's going to be safe. He's always safe. And it's pretty sad because he's got 5 million subscribers. He is an American, and he should see this for exactly what it is. He alludes to it, but he just won't say it. Instead, he comes up with this ridiculous, they're down there looking for gold story.
We were alerted well after the fact on that one, so there's no arrests on that either. They don't know who the guys are. So the question that the NYPD is asking, of course, is are these two events connected and what's going on? So here's where my cop brain comes in. They had prepared for it. It was well planned. They were wearing fishing waders. They knew they were going down in the sewer system for a couple of hours. It was at the middle of the night. They had lookouts in their cars. They obviously didn't want to be seen because they even changed out of the fishing waders before walking off. So it was supposed to be a secret what they were doing. Well, my Tom Clancy brain, not Tom Clancy Rainbow Six Siege. They banned me on Twitter because I made fun of their new gay guns. But my Tom Clancy brain, and as in Rainbow Six, terrorist attack is like, okay, they're down there for 3 hours. What are they scouting out? You can see they obviously didn't take any kind of bomb or device with them down there. But what are they scouting out? Here's where they got in the manhole cover right there. You can see there's like tons of schools for a mass CAS incident. As far as government buildings go, I don't know if they plan an attack against the United States Postal Service or the New York Fire Department. There's the New York City 61st precinct right here, though. So I have no idea. It's just weird. I mean, it could have been some urban exploration. That's always fun. I used to do that when I was 17 in high school. Well, I got to searching around a little bit, and it turns out there was an incident last year where this happened. This was in Brooklyn also. Police called up with
Okay, I can't play his whole video because YouTube. But his whole point is they were just down there looking for gold because apparently a guy in Sweden was going down in the sewers and he was finding enough gold to sustain himself. Well, here's the problem. When you go into the sewers, remember I was a plumber for 20 years? When you go into the sewers, it's full of shit water and it's deep. Hence, they're wearing waders. And like he said, they didn't have any device with them. They also didn't have any metal detectors or anything to look for gold. So he's just making this, it's lighthearted. We didn't have just one event where the people were seen going in and then caught on camera again, coming out, taking off their equipment, getting into their cars and driving away. They were just looking for gold. Certainly, they weren't getting us ready for another 4th of July celebration like 9/11 all over again. There's only one group of people that could get away with doing that and never be seen, even though they're seen going in and coming out at both locations on camera. And it all happened in a Hasidic Jew area. I'm shocked. So if you live in that area, boom, be ready for it. Because that's what this is going to be. He alludes to it, but he just won't say it because monetization. When you got 5 million subscribers, you're making cash. You're making bank, big time, big time, big time. You could own a house like this instead of just staying here while the owner's away. You see what I mean? Crazy, crazy, crazy. It bums me out how people are just glossing over this stuff. This is why I'm covering it again, because that's an event. That's an event getting ready to happen because they're not going to hit us just once. They're going to hit us numerous times. They're going to hit us like we have never seen before. I said this back in 2020, and I'll say it again. When you're going for the New World Order, you have to pull out all the stops, and they are. They are. The government isn't even pretending to be the government. They just don't care. You know what I mean? And all the people that are mainstream are like, bad politics, bad political planning, bad financials, bad data centers. But the beat just keeps going on. None of this is bad. It's all the design. It's all the plan. Trump told us all those promises. I'm going to tell you what those drones are, Fort Knox, and whatever, all these other things he was going to expose. Oh, and the Epstein files. And instead, as soon as he walked in the office, next thing you know, we've got 34 of the most hated tech bros on earth gathering at the White House, sitting down with the president and his wife and giving money to build his stupid ballroom with his data center underneath and whatever else it is. This is crazy. We've never seen it like this before. And the reason he's doing this is because nobody's going to stop him. That's what the Epstein list was for. The Epstein list has Trump in it so often, it should be called the Trump Files featuring Jeffrey Epstein. But people just don't care. And they're just going to keep speedballing us. Every time you turn around, there's another crazy thing, crazy thing, crazy thing. Because when you're trying to take over the entire world at one time, you need to do nonstop, never-ending distractions. I didn't cover the Epstein files. I didn't cover Charlie Kirk. I didn't cover any of that stuff. I don't care about that. It's all distractions. None of those things helped in any way. I told you what the Epstein files were. They were leverage. So they can do whatever they want. Anybody decides to be an actual congressman or an actual senator, they can just hold up the Epstein files and say, no, 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 shut your mouth or we'll expose you. You see what I'm saying? It's crazy. They're doing this. This is happening. I've live streamed 3 days in a row. You know why? Because it's getting urgent. We're in June. We're in June. Disclosure day is coming any moment now. And according to experts, people will be shocked by Pentagon disclosure. It's gone too far. The Pentagon has begun releasing previously classified UFO files under the Trump administration in a I can't stand that, UAP. The UFO investigator has warned that something is imminent and people are going to be shocked. Yeah, no kidding. Notice the time that it was put up, just by complete and sheer coincidence. 11/16 or 9/11 with an extra one upside down. Signs and symbols rule the world. A UFO investigator has sounded the alarm that something is imminent. Now, no kidding. You think? Really? You sure? People are going to be shocked. In February, Trump directed the U.S. government to begin the process of identifying, releasing official files on aliens and extraterrestrial life. Yeah. And like you heard if you watched the live stream last night, Spielberg said it in his own little trailer. This is real. This is real. It's so weird saying that because I'm trying to say one thing and I'm saying something else, like a double entendre. These guys are opening portals all over the United States. Remember, every single city and town had a portal put up so you could talk to people in other countries and such, all over the place. You can't pay for veterans' health care. You can't help the homeless. You can't help stop the drugs that are coming in, let alone help the people that are getting strung out like research monkeys on the drugs that the government is allowing in our country for almost all my life now. Can't stop any of that, but we can put up portals everywhere so you can talk to somebody at Nova Scotia. Really? That's called predictive programming to get people ready, and that's exactly what they did. It's coming. I can't really stress it enough. And here's a fun thing, just to keep this in mind real quick.
The World Cup coming up and millions of visitors coming to the United States. On the U.S. preparation for this, who is in charge of proactive surveillance measures and what type of surveillance will the United States be doing for visitors coming in? Will that be expanded beyond the DRC, Uganda, and Sudan? Can you describe what is in place, knowing this influx of people coming soon?
So Jay SRRY, who I spoke to this morning, who is our brilliant leader of the NIH, but also CDC now, is running this program. He's got a lot of help from Dr. Heidi Overton and many others at the White House. So it's a well-constructed game plan. They aggressively got into, and they're funding now, a lot of the treatments that are being offered in the DRC and the Kenya facilities, just an extra way for us to take folks who are Americans who need help. But we have very purposefully put up testing tools and mechanisms at the major airports that people will be traveling through. I have great confidence in Jay's ability. He's a brilliant scientist and knows a lot about viruses. He wrote one of the most important papers really describing the true reality of what was happening during COVID early in the pandemic. It got him in the hot water because it was not convenient to hear it, but he's a brave man who will make the right decisions and be transparent about it.
Doesn't Dr. Oz look terrible? He's a doctor. He's supposed to be healthy. He don't look healthy. He looks like he's got a gun pointed at him or an Epstein file pointed at him. But don't you worry, because they're going to take care of the Ebola problem that we're having lately, the Ebola problem, because hantavirus was a little bit too in your face, too obvious, and we smited them right off the bat with it. And now they're going to pull out the Ebola virus. Isn't that phenomenal? These guys love you. They care about you. They're worried about you. That's why they're, releasing 34 million AI. How do I say this? AI bred these genetically modified mosquitoes that they're going to release in Florida and in California. One side of the country, other side of the country. If their plan goes well, we'll all have Ebola somehow. Because mosquitoes, yes, mosquitoes can. That is an injection. It is an injection. They're not going to sprinkle it on you. It doesn't work like that. If they could sprinkle diseases on us, we'd be dead by now. You know what I'm saying? So just keep in mind, they're working on a problem that doesn't exist, and they don't have to worry about it anymore. Neither do you. This is lame. This bums me out, but this is a thing. That bums me out because on the road, I could stop someplace on the back of my truck and I could cook up a whole gang of chicken breast, barbecue sauce on it, perfect. Chop it up, eat it hot, eat it out of the refrigerator cold, good to go. I'm afraid to buy chicken. I'm afraid to buy steak. The only time I eat any meat is when I'm at one of my subscribers who either raises the cattle himself with 0 vaccines and clean feed, or somebody that's actually hunted it down and killed it. This is insane. These guys are, I mean, this is beyond reproach, man. Beyond reproach. Yeah, hey, are any mods here? Can you show Fred Wagner the door? You guys, I mean, you know what the wrench is for? Seriously? It's very distracting. At any rate, I'd be afraid to buy any meat or chicken from any place in the United States. You know what I mean? I used to go to Whole Foods when I was home all the time until Monsanto bought it. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I found out that organic food didn't have to be organic to be called organic food, all they did is double the price. That's highly disconcerting. You know what I'm saying? At any rate, I got a couple more here. This is lame. I'm not home, but this is just so gay. Boston, of course. What is that? These are gay people too, okay? And it's not AI. Boston City Hall raises an LBGTQ plus flag as a choir sings Pride Month carols. What does that even mean, man? This is so disgusting and weird. But what is that? Whatever. You touch that flag and they catch you for it, you're going to jail. You burn an American flag or kill a guy for flying an American flag outside his house. Yeah, no big deal. Nothing to see here, folks. Keep it moving. All right, one more thing, maybe 2 more things. On Patreon, as soon as I can get Disclosure Day, it'll be up. Just like Alien Disclosure was up and just like Leave the World Behind was up. I will post it on my Patreon. Even if they take it down, I really don't care. It is what it is. And here's one more thing right quick because it's getting dark now. One of my subscribers, Greg, just sent this in. His truck's looking pretty slick right here with these new RFB stickers. And if you want stickers, hoodies, etc., I take nothing from this. These are just 2 people I know, 2 subscribers that are making them, raising their kids correctly, and they're heavily Christian. They're right here. All sorts of gear if you want it. Bumper stickers, we do not consent, etc. This is good stuff. Get it while you can because I don't know how long they're going to keep doing it because I don't have all that much incentive in it. I try to show it because my platform is slightly larger than theirs. But real quick before I shut this down, check this out. This is a good channel right here. This is Bowman TV. He's a small channel, but he's putting in some work. These are data centers in West Virginia that are now causing all the local homes to flood. Do you know how much it costs to have flood insurance? And not only are they stealing all your water, the water they don't need anymore, they're dumping back on your lawn. Isn't that beautiful? America. Trump will fix it.
First data center in West Virginia. And after I heard about the flooding last weekend, I decided to spend the week here and investigate and just generally communicate the full story, the fight that the Mason County citizens are enduring. And it's really important to note that I'm not anti-data center. I am anti-incompetence, I'm anti-lack of transparency, and more than anything, I'm anti the rush job that's taking place on the part of these data centers from these small town politicians and corporations. So
the rush job. Since when did we even know there was 4,300 data centers in the United States already built? 4,300. We didn't even hear about these things until Trump showed up again. You know what I mean? We knew about them, but it wasn't to this effect. This is insane. 4,300. There's only 50 states. Do the math. You know what I'm saying? It's insane. Maybe he'll learn. He has no problem with them. I do. We don't need them. We never did need them. All they're doing is destroying everything. And I already told you what I believe. These things are to open and sustain portals, period. That's why they need all the water and all the electricity, just like CERN.
So obviously you got a lot going on here in Mason County, West Virginia, not to be confused with Mason County, Kentucky, which is also in their own data center fight. But before I kind of dive into that, obviously there was some news here in West Virginia over the last few days, particularly about the flooding in the community as it pertains.
Imagine standing in your backyard and that's what's in the background. That's awesome. She looks so happy. What a great, you lived your whole life as an American in West Virginia and now that's there. Oh, wow, that's great. Making America great again, right there. Prime example of it. $500 billion.
Of this data center behind you, this data center that's being built. So can you just give us a little bit of idea what's going on with all of that? Obviously, we'll get into the X's and O's of the data center itself here in a little bit, but just in terms of the flooding itself, what happened exactly?
Well, they changed the terrain completely by denuding it. They took all the trees and all the vegetation out, and then they moved a lot of dirt and changed the elevations. So when all the rain came, it went right into houses, basically.
So what was that like? Did your house get impacted?
Our house didn't. Our backyard was flooded, but our neighbors up the street, they received probably $20,000-$30,000 worth of damage easily.
Got it. So there were some heavily impacted people in this community.
Yes, absolutely.
I bet you've seen more people back here than you've ever seen, huh?
Yes.
So how long have you been at this house?
42 years.
42 years in the same house.
Yes.
What was this like behind you before this construction started?
A beautiful farm field. It's always been corn or soybean. Beautiful land, trees, deer. It was a wonderful place to be.
You got a power plant behind you. When did that get installed?
That was there before we came.
Oh, it was?
Yes, it's probably 50 years old.
Oh, okay, got it.
So we were young and dumb when we bought the house and didn't have enough sense to worry about power plants.
Right.
But,
Well, it's doing well for you, except for this data center.
this was a beautiful, beautiful neighborhood for a long time.
What are your thoughts about, just on a general sense, about the data center that's coming in here?
I don't think any of it would be repeatable at this point.
Come on, give it to me.
I think they're overbuilt, hugely unnecessary, the volume that the country is experiencing right now.
And she's not wrong. She's not wrong. I'll leave a link below if you want to watch that because it's an hour-long video. What's up, puppy? What's up, puppy? Don't stay down. Stay down. Good girl. You can't pat one without the other one coming over instantly. Then you got two of them. And there you go. All right. Hold up. Go. Get off my cord, dude. Trying to unplug me. That's unbelievable. Fresh. Now she's going to sit there and make sad faces at me. Unreal. 4,300 data centers in a country with 350 million people. We have more data centers we have twice the amount as the rest of the world combined. Think about that. 350 million people, you don't need them if they were prisons. They're not prisons. America is not what we think it is, which is why we had all the Great Serpent Mound, all of these places that they just say, oh, it's a national park, Devil's Tower. That's just nothing. Well, that was where the first Spielberg UFO movie was. Remember that? At any rate, Richie from Boston. Dude, stop farting. Oh, that's gross. At any rate, for now, creek don't rise, good Lord's willing. I'm out.
The Matrix is a system, Neo. That system is our enemy. But when you're inside, you look around, what do you see? Businessmen, teachers, lawyers, carpenters, the very minds of the people we are trying to save. But until we do, these people are still a part of that system, and that makes them our enemy. You have to understand, most of these people are not ready to be unplugged. And many of them are so inert, so hopelessly dependent on the system, that they will fight to protect it. Were you listening to me, Neo? Or were you looking at the woman in the red dress? I was. Look again.
Hey, what's up, YouTube? It's Richie from Boston.